Honorable Minister Dr. Sabin. First, congratulations for being appointed the new Minister of Health, but also, although he's not here, Dr. Ivan, I want to congratulate him as well for being here. Colleagues, all protocol observed, I'm really pleased to be with you, with our new Minister. It's a wonderful day for the ministry, for having, as he said, new blood, for us to run faster to the goal of the sector. I believe that this was the right time to take this right decision of having Dr. Sabin and Dr. Ivan both appointed as Minister and Minister of State respectively. We did, since February 2020, what we considered as the best we could do, but probably we didn't reach where the leadership of this country would wish that the sector be. To be remanaged, kind of more energy to the sector, this is the best decision that could be taken. Because we are implementing 2017-2024 government agenda. We have goals to attain as a sector. So if with the recent DHS we still have some gaps, then we need to do something differently. So for me, I consider that this was the right decision to make sure that we reach goals that were defined to the sector in 2024. We walked through conditions which were extremely very difficult, very hard, but I was impressed by reading this handover report, because when I drafted the structure of this report, I said 4 pages maximum per agency. For me, it was like it was feasible. Later on, I discovered that it was just impossible. You did a lot, and I want to congratulate you. By the way, because you are the one implementing. I think ministers are there to set enabling environment with the entire government, so that people who are implementing, they deliver to the maximum of their possibilities. This is our role as the ministers. The ministry has key functions, 3 key functions. One is to develop policies of the sector. 2 is to mobilize the resources, domestic resources, and of course partners' resources. 3 is to implement or to facilitate implementation through agencies existing in the ministry or affiliated institutions, and do oversight of the implementation. This is the role of the sector, I mean, the level of the ministry. So it required that we came with new laws to regulate the sector, because you can't establish new policies at the end without adjusting the legal framework so that policies will be implemented. Just to give you an example, today we are talking about doing organ transplant in January. You need a law for it. It's a legal framework which is required to implement that new policy. It's our role to make sure that the law is developed until gazetted, a long journey, but it should be done. There is the mother law which is not yet adjusted or amended, the law related to health services. The one existing is for 1998. It's extremely old. So the new one is almost ready for being submitted to Law Reform Commission. Got input from all of you. We are just fixing one element related to assisted reproductive component, and then submit. Means a ministry should really make sure that the legal framework is there. You can't escape it unless if you decide to operate informally with the ministerial instructions, but at one point it will not work. So the second, regarding resource mobilization, especially domestic resources, there is on my don't forget list, because every week I have my don't forget list. I think people with whom we work, they are aware of that list. To my don't forget list, as far as resource mobilization is concerned, if you want to keep investing in tertiary health care with additional services in terms of package, benefit package, with RCCB, we need to increase revenue for RCCB. And it's a priority. Because if at the end we have these new services in King Fahd Hospital, and our patient can't reach those services, resident program, sub-specialty program in King Fahd Hospital, they do not have patient to treat and to teach new doctors for it, just because there is no material. Patients are our material, as simple as such. It will compromise HRH goals to increase numbers of well-trained doctors. At the end, RCCB with less resources, hospitals will not be able to, their service will not be paid on time. And then RMS will not be paid for drugs they delivered to hospitals. It became a vicious cycle. So to me, Honorable Minister, part of don't forget list that I had, and I would wish to give to you, it's part already of this handover. The file is at the Prime Minister office with suggestion of new source of fund for CBHI, so that we'll be able to mobilize sufficient resources to do whatever I described a few minutes ago. Finally, institutional reforms were required to implement the mandate of the ministry, the sector itself. When we started, RMS was not yet there, so it was created when we were here. The structure, the board, etc. Rwanda FDA was very young, I think with less than 50 staff. But now they are beyond 100 and what? 194 staff. To reach this level requires a lot of things, structure, etc. And other reforms, including rationalization of health facilities, so that we make sure that hospitals, health centers are structured in a way that is related to the volume of their work, rather than having one plan for everybody, one structure for any structure, irrespective of the volume of work. So those institutional reforms were implemented. Today, I think the framework is there to deliver. We believe that the foundation, we say, yes, is there. Finally, specialized services that were required in this sector. Those specialized services, you find some of them and RBC, the lab, the project for constructing a new lab, the isolation center, the new Seashika, IRCAD, heart center, new hospitals to be constructed or renovated. We have a list of new hospitals which were constructed, others in pipeline. I think those institutional reforms are needed. I forget Rwanda Military Hospital, a new one, to come also. So those institutional reforms are required. And the last that I would wish to recommend to Honorable Minister is the establishment of Health Facility Accreditation Agency. If you want to be a medical hub in this region, with all investment that you are doing in infrastructure, equipment, human resources, etc., to deliver high quality services, we need an independent body to assess and certify the quality of services that are given in any public and private health facilities. We can't be doing it here in the Ministry of Health, setting norms and standards and assessing those standards ourselves. It's just conflict of interest. I believe the day we create that agency, this ministry will completely change its facility. It will be achieving full mandate of the sector. Because if you read the goal of this ministry, is quality of services to the population. How can you assure quality of service to the population when you are the one doing everything? Just imagine if in financial matters, we don't have Office of Auditor General. We have only internal auditors in different sectors. To give you an example of how this agency is extremely important. So I want to say that if by coming years we are able to, while working with partners, and some partners are really willing to help us to set this agency. If we are able to set this agency, it will be a strong achievement for the sector, and really in the pipeline, in alignment with the vision and the mission which was given to this sector by His Excellency, the President of the Republic. There are things I said here when I started in this role as a model for me and for my colleague, Minister Impinduka. I said 3C. For those who are here, they remember. 1C is coordination. You can't deliver without being coordinated. And we work with different actors. Here in the ministry, out of the ministry, you have a lot of actors. So you need to build skills for being coordinated in whatever we are doing. Number 2, we need strong communication. If you have so many actors, if you don't communicate, it can't work. You should define a way of communicating properly and make sure that people, they know what we are doing. They can't just guess it. They should be informed in normal channels. The last 3C was completion of tasks. If you don't complete your task, it's like you became a bottleneck for others. For sure. Even if it's a small task, if you don't complete it on time, as you operate as a sector, you became an issue for the rest of the team. I just want again to recall those 3C. It helps, it energizes all of us to make sure that you check yourself whether you are, whatever you are doing, you communicate properly, you coordinate all stakeholders who are involved in that action. You are not isolated yourself and ignore the rest, and you deliver. By the way, when you complete your task, you deliver. I think we spent 1 year with deliverology science. When I was last time in KCC, I said delivery, it's about the sum of multiple decisions. If you don't take decision, you can't deliver. And when you delay to take decision, you delay to deliver. I'm convinced that if we keep that mindset, although hardships with COVID, Ebola, and others, we will deliver. And the proof is this book, full of what you did as achievement in all your agencies and in the ministry. So I want to express my gratitude to His Excellency the President of the Republic, who gave me the chance of having the country at this high position. I started in the Ministry of Health in '95, in September. So I ended 2 days ago, at the highest position of the sector. What can I ask again? Nothing. I'm just a blessed and happy man. Thank you so much.
First of all, I want to say thank you for the trust and for the responsibilities that I was given just a few days ago, a few hours ago, from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, that I can take these new responsibilities with you. The outgoing Minister, Dr. Daniel, has said most of what it requires to deliver and to move things from A to B. And I want also to thank him and the team that is already doing the work here at the ministry, Dr. Tarsis, the PS, and all heads of agencies, heads of departments, down to the community. The work that you've been leading, the work we've been also doing together, because I'm not coming from agriculture sector, so I've been here in this sector. So thank you so much for what you achieved. And again, congratulations for the achievements and the service you provided to this sector and to this country. Number two is to highlight the importance of this sector. As His Excellency mentioned yesterday, the health sector is a pillar of the life of a country, the economy. So if we perform as a health sector, our role will definitely impact the overall country's development. So that is very important for all of us. And it's just a reminder that we have a big role to play for Rwandans, for this country. Number three is the speed to deliver. So for those who have involved in this ministry for many years, we've been seeing changes and different speeds and focus. And it's always interesting to see how every time we see the results after a kind of marathon, and at the end we celebrate what is achieved, but still we have many journey kilometers to run. So the speed is changing, of course, but I trust that this team can keep the run until we say that we have taken our country from this level to another level, focusing on our own offices and tasks. That I'm sure will guide on most of our plannings or ways of working. We already see that in hospitals. Robotics are coming, digital medicine, digital epidemiology, even at community health worker level. They're using smartphones. Maybe tomorrow they'll be using visual ways of seeing patients. So we should be ready for that. And we should not be pushing the shift of embracing technology because we think in our mindset that we should be using the old ways of doing things. Is the more you delay to move into technology, the more it will be impossible for you to run behind, because it's so rapid, it's so evolving and changing that we need to be up to speed, and it's for everyone. Last, before we make probably proper details of our strategy when we had done that, is to see how the ways we've been coordinating ourselves as a sector with different agencies, so big family, can continue and even improve to meet what Dr. Daniel has mentioned about effective communication, but also working as a team rather than working in isolation. That requires for us to have some principles or some openness on what has not worked before that we should change and be ready for the change, or what has effectively worked that we should keep, or what has not been there that we should create today. To be well coordinated, to communicate properly and timely and openly, because if we move as a team in that way, we will not disappoint our leadership, we will not disappoint Rwandans, and even we will be very happy for ourselves that the time we spent in this ministry, we've delivered and we've made changes, and we can continue in other responsibilities where the future will take us, being happy that when I was there, I did this. And exactly what Dr. Daniel is exactly telling us, that the time he spent here, what he has achieved in this book, is going to remain in the memories of people he worked with, and for himself in the next journey. So let's do the same as we begin. At least for me, it's just starting my new role, but also with you, that I think, I trust, and I'm very confident that you'll be ready and happy to continue to work with me and with Dr. Ivan to take these achievements to another level of achievements, and to not be satisfied with all we have today, but continue to aim for more, because that is how Rwanda is. Dream big and believe that we can achieve as a team. So thank you so much for this moment, for all who managed to attend. Thank you, Dr. Daniel, for the service in this ministry as a minister and even previously, and also for Dr. Tarsis, who is not here today, but also we recognize the work that you've achieved before as a team. Now it's same team, it's just for the change of roles for me and for Dr. Ivan. Tubisabiye ko mwazadufasha gusoza izi nshingano zikomeye twahawe, nubwo tumaze igihe muri iyi minisiteri, muri sekta, kuri iyi nshingano iyo zihindutse ibintu biba bihindutse, ntabwo wakoresha ko wakoze mu myaka yashize ngo wizere ko birakomeza. Ugomba kureba uburyo wavugurura, nawe wakongeramo ingufu ku byo ubona ko utabashije gukora ushobora gukora. Ariko igikuru ni teamwork. Mwese nagira ngo rwose mbisabire, yaba ari minisita urangije inshingano ze uyu munsi, yaba ari Minister of State nawe uzakora handover mu minsi mike, namwe tugiye gutangira gukomezanya urugendo. Ndabinginze, ndabasabye dukorane neza, dukore nka team. Ndabizeye ko abenshi tumaranye igihe dukorana, kugira ngo inshingano dufite tuzazigereho ariko tuzigereho byihuse kandi tuzigereho neza. Ntago nabaza buri wese ngo urabyemeye cyangwa byemeye, ko namwe ni inshingano zanyu.